Hello, and welcome to another episode of Loki Probably Doesn't Die, but very well could. Alright, we are going into this thing. I suppose I should hit play on that. And it is another Cataclysmic Dark, because that's what these are all about. They're all about the Cataclysmic Darks. And the first room is another Karen room, good old Karybdis, causing us trouble. Keep in mind, I run this at about 150% speed, so you don't get to be bored for too long. Avoid clouds, especially blue clouds. Avoid... We don't have one now. We only have a medium range deviant, so we don't have to worry about the tracking tower, but avoid... Well, it's not even you avoiding them. You want Karybdis to avoid them, so you need to fly as far away as you can. Karybdis will chase you in darks and hawks, and then that way Karybdis can die and preferably not kill you. Entanglers are primary, but it is also good to get rid of a few of the null charges fairly early on, so you're not completely capped out for most of the initial part of this. Again, being able to have shields and moving and stuff like that is very useful against Karybdis. With the ADC, you might be able to survive a hit. Not necessarily even with it turned on. I think I've survived it. It's been quite a while since I've actually been hit by Karybdis, so it's hard to say. But yeah, you can clear out the null charges, you can clear out the Entanglers. You're not going to fly out the edge like I might have done in an earlier episode. And once you get the Entanglers and the null charges cleared out, then you can start working on Karybdis. Because ideally, you want to be able to save the rest of the guys for you to kill after Karybdis is dead. Because then that way you can kind of fly towards the cache, kill the rest of them, and loot everything up at the end of it. While you're still shooting guys. So you're not killing Karybdis, 50 kilometers from gate, and having to fly over and grab the loot at the end, wasting a good minute, in a room that's going to take you 6, meaning you'd be over time if you did that. So yeah, we're going to start working on Karybdis, get Karybdis down. Karybdis is a shield tank, meaning that if you go into a Gamma, Karybdis is going to suck a whole lot more. But in Darks, Karybdis does not get super bonus shields, so it's not so bad. Yeah, so that was generally going pretty good. You're just going to keep transversal. You're not going to fly directly at or directly away from Karybdis or anywhere close to that. You're going to try to stay perpendicular most of the times. Range doesn't matter so much. You can be 30, 40 away. You're perfectly fine. You don't want to get too much above 40. You don't want to get too much below 20. Although if you're in a good enough spot, you can orbit Karybdis at 7,500 if you're in a pinch. Obviously, not preferable around blue clouds or towers, but that's okay. Karybdis is getting low on shields. Once Karybdis is out of shields, Karybdis goes down like a rock. Really, really kind of easy, but still a bit time-consuming. I prefer the Karybdis Ephialtes versus the Karybdis Scylla. The Scylla takes a bit more time. Than the other ones, which we'll get into in the third episode of this particular series. This run anyway. So Karybdis is about dead. We're going to start heading towards the biocache after Karybdis is dead. You can do it a little bit as long as you're still able to keep up that perpendicular to Karybdis kind of thing. You're not flying directly away, but be careful with it. Don't make any sharp turns just because Karybdis is almost dead. Karybdis, also called Karen sometimes, is a very, very not so nice person. This is a good cache too. Medium disintegrator spec, an unstable in there. And so yeah, just a couple guys left. We're heading towards the conduit so that we will be on the conduit, and all we have to do is reload, go to the next room, 6 minutes in, so we're still up 40 seconds. That 40 seconds can be very important. Next room.